Starting again. Today, 17 in the evening is Sunday, still October 10th, 2020. It's not politics I talk about today. No depression, actually, again. I guess this is one of those private videos that's going to be stored. I'm blathering at times, talking about my own ills and wills and everything else happening to me. Trying to make sense out of what's going on these days. And it usually pays a price one way or another. Enjoyment out of a lot of things in life, and it's hard enough to look at everything and just say, no, everything's just swell, Jim and dandy. But for some of those who've actually never been under depression before, or really felt what depression's all about, there are too many descriptions that people could say about it. A wet blanket, fog over your head, fog over your brain. Maybe you just don't care about anything anymore. I've seen the commercials. I've seen the commercials for drugs and everything else these days. Trying to find ways to beat and combat depression, including the National Suicide Hotline, which I already posted a video about. Just plugging in a cord so I can get my phone charged up and download some stuff. It's needed to have other things happening in your life. It's important to have other things to occupy your brain and occupy yourself. Otherwise, how would you be able to deal and cope? Now, for some of us who've actually been under depression for a hell of a long while, sometimes it's not that easy because we're still fighting it. And everybody else will probably say, well, you just got to do this, or you just got to do that. Go outside, get some sun. Well, I went outside and got some sun. I got sick and tired and went back in my cave. You say, meet and talk with people. Okay, I met and talked with people. Right back in my cave. See, it's the safety and security that we look for. Because outside world is scary enough. It's out of our control. We have no direct influence on how things are supposed to be or should be. Therefore, go back into our cave to hide. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired, but we can't say anything about it because we're too damn afraid. And we're too damn stressed about it in the first place. I mean, how could a quote-unquote normal person understand someone who's looking at you directly and that other person could be under a fog that they can't describe to the normal person, except probably is gibberish, and then it's not very clear. Depression is not one of those things that you can actually pin down specifically of if it's acute or not. At least in my personal experience. As I said before in my videos, I talk about personal experiences. I don't talk about medical opinions, since I'm not a doctor. I don't talk about scientific opinions or theories unless I know something about it, but then again, I'm a science enthusiast. When it comes down for metaphysics, concerning about the spiritual realm, that's also another story. I'm not clergy, but I have something knowledge of that. When it comes down for legal matters, I'm afraid to head over to legal experts. I'm just a layman. I only know very little. I'm also an observer. I observe a lot. And under the form of depression at this point over here, the way I'm looking at life outside the windows of an apartment or watching in television as things are going crazy, not to mention hearing political pundits jibber jabbering like crazy of what's supposed to be right, what's supposed to be wrong, if this person did something or said something, and what's the reaction to it. Under a depression, it doesn't motivate the person who's suffering through the depression. It's just not driving them enough. Unless, of course, we're dealing with manic depressive at this point over here, or bipolar. I have yet to be diagnosed of it, but I'm afraid I probably have developed it over the years and didn't even realize it. Not even the other doctors, or the so-called doctors, as I call white lab coats, or idiots with white lab coats, or worse than that. Well, axe, quacks, sawbones, shrinks, snake oil salesman, selling you ills, pills, chills, and wills, potions, notions, and lotions, all guaranteed to get you healed, and at the same time trying to kill you. I've seen a lot of pharmacy commercials, pharmaceuticals coming out. Supposed to help you out with one particular situation, but they may give you a hell of a lot worse. It's easy enough to get addicted to some of those pills because they may have a active ingredient that plays upon your biochemistry or neurochemistry where your addiction center wants more and more of the drug because you can't live without it. I've been told that even people can get addicted to Tylenol if they keep taking it on a constant usage. For me, it's only on an as-need basis. You know, if my back gives me crap, if my head gives me crap, if my neck gives me crap, if my ankles are giving me crap, I take the pills. I take the pills, and they usually help out. But only when I take them as needed. I don't take them as constant basis as everybody does. And I've seen what addiction does to people, especially when they get hooked on the damn pills. I never thought that aspirin could be addicting. I never thought Tylenol could be addicting. But hell, it is. It's just pretty damn screwy. So I just never bothered to think about it. But these are the medications that we grew up with in order to help people out. Laudanum, a long time ago, thought it was supposed to be a painkiller. Yeah, it sure killed you, and then it killed you again. Kills the pain, and it kills your body. I never know that stuff was terribly addicting. Much like marijuana. And a lot of people are going crazy over that one. Now, I'm not an expert, but I've seen a lot of people do marijuana. And they're addicted to it. I don't care what the other experts or so-called experts say about the damn drug. It's an addictive nature, and I don't touch it. And I've seen my brother damn near destroyed by it. I don't care what new varieties are. It's still a drug. I don't care if it was a natural medicinal used by the Native Americans when they were here. It's still, to me, a nasty drug because it clouds the brain. I'd rather not have my brain clouded, thank you very much. Because I can see how well that stuff does. And it turns people into creatures I don't even recognize them anymore. Other people say, well, no, you try this derivative, try that derivative, this stuff will work, this stuff will work. No, thank you. For snake oil salesmen of all sorts. Then those who claim that they know better. I have to know myself better. I have to know my body better. I have to know what I can deal with and what I can't deal with. I've had too much experimentation with medicinals, and I don't deal with it unless I need something. That includes medications that might helped me with my depression. I've heard, as I said before, those ads coming out. Those ads coming out to tell you about how well this drug works. I don't buy it. I've seen the ads and how they're supposedly effective. Only if they are FDA approved, if there was enough studies on the damn thing, and if your biochemistry can actually deal with it, or even if your neurochemistry can actually deal with it. I'm not taking a risk. I know that with the food I eat, I'm in risk because I have a genetic history of destruction. Plain and simple, I've got stroke in my blood, in my family line. I've got heart disease. I've got diabetes. I've got cancer. All of my genetics. I've got food addictions. I've got drug addictions. I've got alcohol addictions. I've got addictions up the yin yang. And that's scary enough to deal with. It's scary enough to know that I have a family history that's ready to kill me at a second's notice. And the other portion I don't like to deal with is the YOLO. I'm like, what the hell is that? You only live once. So you party hardy like crazy. Well, fine, you party hardy like crazy. I still want to live, damn it. I still want to live for tomorrow. I still want to live to see tomorrow. I still want to wake up in the morning and actually see a sunrise and decide whether or not I'm going to be crumbling at the damn thing or not. I want to know if I'm going to be waking up in the morning and feeling like I want to be alive. At times when I do sleep, I do feel a little bit of that peace because I'm not stressing over everything else happening around me. That scares the living crap out of me. That includes financial situations, that includes educational situations, political situations, any other kind of situation that pops up, even if a dilapidated apartment falling to pieces, or a body is still trying to kill you. There's a lot of things I can fear and go crazy over. Only a person that has the courage just to wake up in the morning and think he's going to live or survive. And the hardest damn thing is when you're constantly under the attack of depression and of anxiety, of the mental illness, whatever you're suffering through. I said before, it's not easy to talk to another person. It's not easy to go up to another stranger and have a conversation because you're so isolated that your communication skills are hindered. Doing videos and doing constant audio recordings helps me to communicate effectively because at times I do need the skills necessary to talk to people about things, about items, about life happening at this point over here, about a damn bug that's trying to kill us left and right, or politics is trying to either kill us, save us, or screw us over one way or another. Politicians freaking out because of a bug's effect, and people aren't doing what a politician would say in order to save their damn ass. Politicians see their numbers going screwy in each state, each city, each county, and then they panic and freak out and close everything else down, and everybody else is going hell in a handbasket. Because we just don't know how to deal with a damn bug. Despite how many medical experts are trying to tell us how to deal with a plague, with a pandemic, everyone else is trying to tell us not to panic, and we're panicking at this point over here. One way or another, we're angry. We're angry because we have our way of life being destroyed left and right. Now, you're probably wondering, how the hell does this connect up with depression? Hold on. Because I said before concerning about manic depressive, when the mania kicks in, everything becomes acutely aware. You're acutely focused, and you go crazy. because you see millions of things you want to do at the same time, and you're splitting yourself apart in millions of pieces just to get them done or get them started or have something going. And that includes trying to make points necessary with people in order to communicate effectively what you've got. Sorry, I've got a neck twitch. Right here. When you sit in certain positions or stay in positions long enough, the muscles cramp up. The pain goes in here. The manic depressive portion of mental health will make you go insane because you've got this sporadic energy going through your body, your brain's going on hyper, and you can't focus clearly enough to do one task. You have to do a hell of a lot more tasks. And then the crash kicks in. Depression. They call it the bipolar. How about crash and burn syndrome? You're up flying high in the sky, and then you're crashing and burning on the ground, splat. You gotta crawl around as a splat until maybe you get your energy level back up, and back up in the sky again you fly. It's constant. Without medication to keep you mellowed out, flying a straight level, it's hard to deal with. It's hard to talk to people about it. It's hard to communicate with people about it. You don't want to focus on cameras, like I'm trying not to right now, because I talk on the side and hopefully people can understand that. Because you focus over here, you focus over there, you focus over here. You're not looking directly square ahead. It's kind of hard to do that sometimes. And you've noticed I've done that a hell of a lot of times. Said before, mental health issues at this point over here. The other thing I know people are going to be screaming and yelling at me about, one way or another, is why don't I ever seek medical help? If you've been following some of my videos at this point over here, and have actually stomached them in the first place. See, I don't treat myself too damn kindly when it comes down for these videos, especially when I post them out there. Because I'm not sugarcoating anything at this point over here. I'm saying it as is. And it may not be what people like to see or hear. It's a reality check for me. And this is reality that I live in and dealing with right now. The mental health is real. It's not contagious. Thank God. It's not something that you need a mask or an inoculation from. I don't know how it starts. I don't know why it starts. I know there are issues that happen. And if issues are not resolved, if fears are not taken care of, if something is not worked on, then all hell breaks loose. And there's usually a buildup until the brain goes crazy. Yes, again, me. Because I know I'm losing it. At times I thought I knew what sanity was, but I guess maybe throughout my life I already had the bipolar going on, manic depressive, and my mother and my brother never picked up on a damn thing. I don't blame them, or maybe I should. Blame everything on them because of what they did. And what did they do? Nothing. What could I have known? They couldn't have known what the hell was going on in my damn head at that point. There was no way for them to know. Unless I was actually trying to communicate something to them effectively that made them pick up on the damn thing. But they always considered me as jamming left and right. Again, the bipolar manic depressive situation. When I have a doctor a few days ago partially diagnosed me as being manic depressive, then I knew I had bipolar going on. I knew. It's just something not to be dealt with or faced. But, yeah, that's a reality check. That's a reality check. And there's no one to blame for that. I don't know if there is anyone to blame for it. Should there be anybody to blame for it? The only two people I can blame is they say hell out of me. Yes. This is a weird conversation for a lot of folks, but this is a mental health issue. This is a mental health crisis that I know some of us, or maybe a lot of us, are facing. And not just because of the COVID-19, but because of our own past, because of our own genetic lines, because of the people, our family, that we love the most, might be suffering through the same damn shit. It's not that easy to deal with. It's not that easy to diagnose unless you've already seen the patterns. And the problem is when the family gets too used to adjusted to the person's behavior patterns, that they just can't say a damn word. My family, my mother actually kept telling me not to jam all the time. It was an irritating situation because I'd get into that kind of mode and jam things. Rush, basically. The manic depressive energy. Not to mention drinking coffee like crazy. You keep up with the caffeine, you're keeping up with your damn energy level until maybe there's a time when you stay away from the caffeine and everything else. You get headaches. Your body tries to decompress. And you're trying to detox yourself somehow. And it's a hard thing to go through the detox. Some people get the jitters. I get the migraines. Only because my body be screaming for the damn caffeine addiction. They constantly feed that. Said before, genetics, family history, patterns. What I'm trying to make a point across here regarding mental health issues, I've got them, a lot of people have got them, they just don't understand it. I'm not a doctor. I'm only a guy going through my own mental health, my own mental issues as it is. I go through my own depression, my own anxiety levels, and it's theoretically supposed to be controlled by drugs. I don't trust drugs. I don't trust doctors. I don't trust anybody who's going to be screwing around with my damn body or my neurochemistry. It's already screwed up enough as it is. But unfortunately, in order to be quote-unquote normal these days, one's got to be medicated under something. And the bitch of it is when you have to go against them and say, no, I'll just tough it out. I'll just tough it out. The hardest damn thing to do is to tough it out. The hardest damn thing to do is, when you're toughing it out, is whether or not you're going to be making it or not, if you're going to survive it or not. Whether or not, if your crash is not going to be that severe, because if it's going to be that severe, will you be able to last the night? Will you be able to wake up in the morning and try to enjoy a sunrise without finding yourself a corpse? And sometimes that'll keep me up all night. And here's the thing. If I am in that position, I wouldn't care if I was a corpse or not. I already lost two of the most precious people in my life that I'll never get back in this world. And under that severe depression, nothing would be able to drag me away from it because I would be on that path to becoming a corpse. There's going to be a lot of people out there that has to agree with that. And it's not easy to deal with. You have people and friends trying to surround you with love, but they also have a hard time dealing with it because unless they've walked your shoes, unless they've done the stuff you've gone through. There's no way they can actually honestly relate unless, as the saying goes, they're walked in your moccasins. Me, I haven't walked in anybody else's moccasins. I'm trying to deal with my own, and they're screwed up enough as it is. And for me to relate this to my friends, or acquaintances actually, that's the hardest damn thing. Because do they honestly care enough to come to your side when you least need it? Well, actually, when you most need it. And that I keep facing every single day. They don't understand that sometimes letters, videos can be ways of saying, I need help. I can't do this alone. And the bitch of it is, we may not have a choice. It's easy enough to go to a doctor. They'll get you doped up. Or maybe stick you in a group where maybe, just maybe, you'll actually find some people to talk to. If you're able and willing enough to get to a group. The catch. If you're able to, and if you're willing. It all depends, doesn't it? When you had a support and you lost the support and everyone else has forgotten about you, that becomes harder and harder. Totally isolated. Hardly anybody cares about you anymore. Nobody cares. Unless you're constantly in their life all the time. Nobody cares. That's what I keep running into. They have their own lives, yes. And you keep asking, why don't they ever ask you for anything? Why don't they ever ask you for advice or help? And the problem is when you're still stuck in a depression mode and you're still asking for help and nobody's coming, especially those you feel are theoretically close to you, the isolation becomes even worse. It becomes even worse than you thought. I can't say that COVID-19 is helping much. I've used it as an excuse. The thing of it is the person willing to step beyond his own boundaries or her boundaries? Is the person able to do it? Does the person have any support at all? There's no answers for him. There's no adequate answers for him. Then that is the answer. And no wonder people lose it, one way or another. To be honest, it does get lonely. It does get lonely when you're in that mode. It hurts like hell. And nothing else you can do or say or even crap that you get through the internet helps. I know, because I'm broke. But I manage with what I have. I manage with what I deal with. Emotional support dog that still depends upon me for her livelihood and mine. But even she gets depressed because she's been through too much. We're both survivors of too much crap. We both get depressed like crazy. She enjoys it when she goes out for a walk. Me personally, I can't stand it. Because I'm constantly looking out for anything else that's going to happen. And I'm not appreciating it. I'll come back in here for safety and security. Find myself sometimes trapped in my own damn cage. Comfortable as it may try to be, still a cage. Life was never guaranteed to be safe. Life was guaranteed to be life, to be lived, to be experienced. Both the joys and the pains, both the ups and the downs. And it's hard enough for people under mental health to understand that, because they already are down and they just don't even realize it, or when they're so damn up that they can't see what's going on around them. I know, because I'm there as well. I put myself in a third party because it's easier for me to deal with. I deal with a fictional avatar of sorts. I talk about an avatar one way or another because the avatar is me. A representation of what the real physical me is supposed to be. And it's hard as hell for me to put this on videotape. Let alone putting this stuff on YouTube where people can actually see the damn shit. Because who wants to see a depressing guy in there in the first place? We all want to see happy, jolly-go-lucky people, or different shows, or people going through video games, or cruising news, or God knows what else we got putting out there. Who wants to see a reality check of a person mentally breaking down and still trying to analyze themselves at the same damn time? Who wants to see real life like that? So that's why some people I know that don't post. And sometimes it's hard enough for me to post this stuff out there because maybe in a way of doing a public service, but basically it's my own damn therapy. It's my own damn therapy and putting it out there in the first place, because maybe someday, one day, either I'll watch the damn thing and understand what the hell's going on with me if I happen to lose memory or something. Or maybe somebody out there will be able to watch it and understand. Maybe just even a little bit of what's going on. Maybe then they'll have a better insight of things than I do. And it's hard as hell. Because I tell you, dealing with life as it is, it's scary enough as it is. But the thing of it is, we deal with the fear all the time. Either we chose to face it or we chose to hide from it. Sometimes you just don't have a choice. It's those times when you feel like you don't have a choice that you have to make a choice. What they would say in Battlestar Galactica lingo, you have to roll a hard 6. And it's not easy. Maybe there's people out there to walk you through it. I hope so. I haven't found anybody to walk me through this damn shit. I heard lip service too many damn times from people around me. But having people contact me just out of the blue just to see how I'm doing, shit. That'll be the day. The thing of it is, when you're so damn depressed like this, it's hard for you to reach out. This is my reaching out. This is my posting it on Facebook and YouTube and say, hey guys, I'm still around. I may be a mental meatball, but you know, it'd be nice to hear from people, you know. Comment something. Like, dislike, flip me off, something. Tell me something I'm actually worth a human being at this point over here instead of just a damn fool and idiot talking his ass off. And maybe I'm a fool and idiot talking my ass off. But I'll never know it until someone actually tells me so. So tell me so. Subscribe, don't subscribe. Like, don't like. Comment, don't comment. Just view it and reflect. I guess that's it for the nice belly aching. Maybe tomorrow will be a better day, since tomorrow's going to be Sunday, and we're getting that much closer to political Armageddon. We're still not done with the damn COVID virus. We're still not done with everything else in life. If I can get through tonight without killing myself or killing somebody else in the process, if I can actually get a little bit of just get a couple more hours of sleep, maybe I'll be barely functioning enough to deal with life. See what happens. Till then.